What? Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So you can see this is moving up. So I think we're good.
Wait, do it again. I want to see the test.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's turn this. Put this on.
David Jones is not my cousin, but I agree he is difficult to say no to. So I will be reading the invocation today. In addition to Cinco de Mayo, it is National Prayer Day, which makes this particularly fitting. And so I'm going to start just with a couple quick points about National Prayer Day and then read the invocation. U.S. soldiers were fighting in Korea in 1952 when President Harry S. Truman signed a congressional resolution calling for an annual National Day of Prayer. According to President Truman's proclamation, it was a day on which all of us, in our houses of worship, in our homes, in our hearts, may beseech God to grant us wisdom, to know the course which we should follow, and the strength and patience to pursue that course steadfastly. Today, the National Day of Prayer is observed annually on the first Thursday in May, and there have been over 150 national calls to prayer, humiliation, fasting, and thanksgiving by the President of the United States in our nation's history. There have been a number of prayers and invocations read by presidents over the years. Today, I'll read one from President Lyndon Baines Johnson from 1967. Dear friends and gracious God, as we gather here today, let us remember what Abraham Lincoln, leaving his beloved Illinois to assume the office of president, told his friends in farewell. I now leave, not knowing when or whether ever I may return, with a task before me greater than that which rested upon Washington. Without the assistance of the divine being who ever attended him, I cannot succeed. With that assistance, I cannot fail. Trusting in him who can go with me and remain with you and be everywhere for good, let us confidently hope that all will yet be well. At every moment of crisis and every hour of trial, our people have prayed for the guidance and strength from their Creator. Today, favored as we have been as a land and people, we have not forgotten the ultimate source of every power for good. In our houses of worship, in homes, or as St. Paul said, in sighs too deep for words, we pray that in times of prosperity, you, O Lord, will fill our hearts with thankfulness, and in the day of trouble, suffer not our trust in you to fail. Today, we pray that God will endow us with the constancy to prevail in defense of freedom, and with the courage and resolution to preserve and extend his blessings of liberty. We ask God to enlighten the minds of all our people so that we may work together to remove the inequalities that are among us. Let us pray that the supreme lawgiver will inspire all people to take the law into our hearts, not into our hands, and teach us all a respect for the rights of our fellow men and women. We thank God for his bounty, praying as we do that he will make America worthy of its continuance. Amen.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That was wonderful. Okay, great, thank you. Hey, Stu, I don't know if we need to turn the volume up. Hey, Russ Swain. Okay, we're finding Russ Swain $1,000. Okay. Meetings like today couldn't happen without lots of volunteers. And we want to thank our volunteers, Kathy Mahan and Bob Warner. Actually, Bob Warner's not here, I apologize. Somebody set it up. I got to figure out who helped you set up. She did it all on her own, great. Our greeters were awesome. Jerry Brown, Kristen Nicholas, and I saw Nancy Anderson even helping out. Our invocation was Christine Luby, our song leader, Antoinette Monroe, our raffle ticket sales, Arlene Sarah and Jamie Goldsmith. We appreciate you both. Our Sergeant of Arms today will be Tony, who's taking video right now for the people online on Zoom. Welcome all of you from Zoom. Tom, Melanie, Renee, Susan. So welcome. Our scribe, our teardown will be Kate Zavala and David Jones. Our scribe will be Nancy Anderson, our photographer, Mr. Tucker, as always, and our AV team, Kirk Alexander and Stu Lipoff. Let's give a big hand to everybody who helped today. Also, I don't see him here, but Bill Houghton his team put together the wheel every week, and that is a tough job, especially with me as president. I am very lame sending them all the info when they need to get it, and they bust their buns to get it here, and it's always beautiful and well done. So we're grateful for them. Now we have some visiting Rotarians, an international visitor. Are you ready, Mr. Craig? Jim Cole, introduce our visitors. Vive la France.
Bienvenue au Rotary Club de Las Vegas. Nous vous remercions de voyager si loin pour nous rencontrer. C'est un honneur et un privilège de vous avoir avec nous cet après-midi. Merci.
Got it.
I don't speak good English. I speak French, and my daughter translates. Je suis vraiment heureux d'être avec vous ici. Moi, je viens de France, d'une petite ville qui s'appelle Ussel, qui est au centre de la France, une France. D'ailleurs, c'est la région où il y avait, c'est la région du président Chirac et c'est la région du président Hollande. Voilà. Maintenant, ça s'appelle la Nouvelle-Aquitaine. Voilà, donc voilà. Je suis médecin, je suis gastroentérologue et hépatologue.
Just so you know, my French is not that good.
Donc, voilà. Donc, je suis médecin, je suis hépatologue et gastro-entérologue dans un hôpital qui s'appelle le Centre hospitalier d'Ussel en Corrèze depuis de nombreuses années. Voilà, donc je vis dans cette région. Les grandes villes à côté, c'est Limoges et Ussel. Là, je fais partie du Rotary Club d'Ussel.
Okay, we're going to let Arlene translate a little bit.
He's saying that he's from the central part of France and that he's a doctor. And he is a member of Rotary in France. And he's really happy to be here.
Great. Thank you. Hey, Tucker, Jim Tucker, one more picture with the flags. We're exchanging wonderful flags with France. This is important. Great. Hey, thank you very much. Any other Rotarians visiting from other parts of the world or the country or the state? Great.
Brian Riley, this is about my third time here. I am going to speak to and start an application here.
Awesome. Welcome. Welcome, Ryan. Okay, any other Rotarians from other parts of the city, the state, the county, the country? Okay, seeing none. Guests of Rotarians, start with David Jones and his father-in-law right next to him.
I want to welcome for the, how many times is this? Third time,
Third time.
former battalion chief from Clark County Fire Department at McCarran Airport.
Yay.
Spent a lot of time saving people in fires, but also my father-in-law, Robert Taylor.
Got it. Welcome. He looks like a former or a current biker.
Yeah, he's got one.
Got it.
Yeah. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. I have the pleasure of having with me Steve Sanchez and Nate Sanchez. They are here with us from Beasley Media, also known on the radio station KDWN 101.5.
Got it. Awesome. Okay, on this side of the room, do we have more guests on this side of the room? Guests of Rotarians? Yes, in the back. Oh, Narig. This is Narig's guest. Narig, I'm going to fine you again for sitting so
this is
far apart
Narig's
from your
guest.
guest.
John?
Yep.
Please
Nice.
introduce yourself.
Hey, so I'm John Emmons. I'm a Vegas local. Good to meet everybody. I'm with Exco, so we're an accelerator here in town. And I'm here mainly to announce that we're holding a demo day on May 19th. So we have 9 businesses that we've started or helped start and accelerate within Las Vegas and Reno. So we're creating jobs and expanding and diversifying the economy here. And we'd like you guys to come out and check out our companies on May 19th. So thanks a
Awesome.
lot.
Welcome. Hey, Narig, that sounded like another plug. That's another $100. Okay, any more guests on this side of the room? Guests of Rotarians. Okay, this side of the room. Any guests? Head over to Tina.
Thank you very much. I want to welcome my guest. Her name is Beth Clark, family friend from San Diego. Big joke, she's vacationing. Why would you vacation from San Diego? But anyway. She works for the WIC program, helping women and children in San Diego. And I can guarantee you, if she lived here, I'd be recruiting her to be a member of this club. Welcome, Beth.
Welcome, Beth. Okay, any other visitors? We have Rick, you have a visitor.
Andrew Thurlow, U.S. Bank Private Wealth Management, my third visit, and I'll be joining soon. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Great, thank you. Any other visitors besides, yeah, Jim Cole? Past President Jim Cole.
President Mike and fellow Rotarians, I'm proud to introduce you to the newest member of my firm, John Savage.
Okay, get next to each other. Mr. Tucker's going to take a picture. Okay,
Thank you to everybody for inviting me and welcoming me here and hoping to join soon.
okay. Awesome. Any other visitors? Yes. Awesome. Let's give a hand to all of our visitors and visiting Rotarians. Okay, well, it is the start of May. And as always, at the start of every month, we have a birthday table over here. So we have several folks that are having birthdays in our club. Not all of them are at the table. But who's at the birthday table? Whose birthday is it this month? Okay, start with Carrie and we'll go around. Andrew, tell us where you're from, how long you've been in Rotary, what month, what day is your birthday, and anything else you want to tell us.
I'm Carrie. I was born May 11th in Ogden, Utah, but only stayed there for shortly. Went to California and then here most of my life. And I've been in Rotary since 2018. And I got the greatest birthday gift this month. So we hosted exchange students for about 10 years. And our second exchange student ended up marrying a gentleman in the Navy, and she just had her first baby. So I am a exchange grandma.
Yeah, awesome. Christine.
Yes, hi, I'm Christine. My birthday is May 25th. I was born in Portland, Oregon and raised there, lived in Nevada for about a year and been a Rotarian for a month. So nice to meet you.
Great.
Larry Cohn, my birthday is coming up May 22nd. I'll be 30 for the 2.5th time. And born in New York, came to California when I was 7, left California 2 years ago for Vegas. Best decision I ever made. And thanks for the birthday wishes.
Great. Sidra, did anybody tell you?
Good afternoon, Rotarians and President Mike, Greg McGuire, former Navy captain, international DJ, and prospective 2024 Olympic hero. So 2 of those 3 are true. I'll let you figure out which one is not.
I don't know. I think 2 of those are lies, but. Okay, and happy birthdays. Mike Newborn.
Mike Newborn, born and raised Miami, FLA, San Diego for 32 years, a refugee from Southern California, 5 years in Vegas now. Also the best decision I've made in a long time. My dad's birthday is on the 25th. Mine's on the 29th. And this is what happens when you get here too late. You don't get a seat at the birthday table.
Yeah.
Love me some Rotarians.
Yeah, let her know.
And mine's on the 29th, by the way.
Got it. That'll be a $50 fine. Okay, any other birthdays here besides, oh, Renee. Renee, I think it's your birthday. Can we hear Renee?
Same May 29th, just like Mike
Mute
Newborn.
yourself? No, we can't hear you yet.
Okay, sorry. May 29th.
Mr. Tucker, if you can.
29th.
Okay.
May 29th. So thank
We're-
you.
We're holding up the flag.
May 29th.
Okay, Renee, try it again.
How about now? My birthday's on May 29th.
May
Just like Mike Newborn,
Okay,
my hero.
wins. Okay, great. Thanks. How long you been a member of the club, Renee?
I think it's been 4 years now and 6 total for Rotary.
4 years. Awesome. Great. Okay, at the end, Bert. Bert, the always young and energetic Bert.
Hi, I'm Bert Reiner. I've been here for 2.5 years. I was 5 years in Connecticut before coming here. My birthday is May 30th. I'm going to be 85. And
Wow.
what else you want to know?
That's
I was born in Germany and lived in China.
awesome. Welcome. Great. Okay. Okay, any other online birthday people? I don't think so. Everybody, Sidra, are you okay singing for us? Sidra's gonna sing happy birthday. Bert, if you want to come over here for a picture, would appreciate it. We have a mic for you right there. Please join Sidra in singing happy birthday to our Rotarian birthday people.
Okay, you ready? We have them all. Everybody said it's their birthday? Okay. Everybody sing, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Perfect.
Great. Okay, I've been asked to make an announcement on behalf of Lowry's and Rotary. And I don't know if I can read this without glasses, so Lowry's has a dress code. This is a fine restaurant, a fine dining restaurant, and they've asked us to kind of step up our game. And as members of Rotary, we're also, community members that represent a great organization. And so we've been asked to do better if we can. And so they've asked kind of, if we can, not wear hats indoors. Hold on. It's, abide by business casual dress code or better. The following items are not permitted in the restaurant: beachwear gear, athletic wear, gym shorts, tank tops, cutoffs or flip flops. And so I just ask that, they are so good to us and Rotary is so good to us. If you'll just help us kind of improve our representation when we come to this meeting, that'd be great. Okay, we have, I had a great privilege on April 29th to go to my alma mater, Quantum McCall, one of my several alma maters here. And Tony, if you want to head over to Barbara Castro, she's going to talk about what we did on April 29th on that hot afternoon.
I'm gonna try to make this fairly quick as I can, talk on. So this is a couple of the posters these kids made for us for tree planting. They were very happy, very excited. It was a good day. We planted a nice pear tree that day, and my daughter and my son were there, so it was nice to see them be a part of this. They're really grateful to us for planting the tree, and they wanted to say thank you, and this is what they made for us.
Great, that's awesome. Thank you, Barbara. Okay, Renee Gamero, give us a recap of what happened yesterday.
Hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm so excited. Our winner for the four-way speech contest, Alexander Rudnitsky, competed and won her area level contest. So our winner I was so proud of her. Her grandfather was there to support. She will now move on to the region contest on June 7th at 12 p.m. at Red Rock Country Club. I believe it's part of the Las Vegas Southwest meeting. So if you care to support her there, if she wins that, she will go to district to represent us, and we wish her the best.
That's awesome. Great. Hey, thank you, Renee. Bobbin, where are you? Bobbin, bring the microphone to Bobbin. Do we have something coming up soon with the 25 Club? Bobbin's our 25 Club or new member president.
Yeah, good afternoon. Forgot what time it was.
We are meeting tonight for Cinco de Mayo. We're having our mixer, and typically it's not a mixer, but we're making it a Cinco de Mayo event at John Pali's house at 6 p.m. All 25 club members, I mean, anybody really, come on out, have fun. John Pali did say if anybody beats him at Pac-Man, he will donate $50 to the club.
Awesome. Oh, so they're not playing bingo tonight?
So John has Pac-Man, a pool table. I think he's gonna look for a karaoke if he doesn't have one already. So it's just gonna be a fun night. It is a potluck too. So I believe the email was sent out. I'll make sure it gets sent out again today, right after the meeting with the address as well. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, Kathy Mahon, are you ready? Kathy is a significant member of our education committee.
Hi, yeah, I'm a co-chairman of the committee, and Maria is going to be in England for the next 4 weeks, so I'm it in terms of chairman. But anyway, we've been really busy. We've been giving out all sorts of books and teacher appreciation cards, and the teachers have been really grateful. And we are having, or actually Beckley's having a field day on May 23rd and 24th, and they're asking for volunteers if any of us are willing to go over and be a volunteer and help supervise the Beckley Field Day at the end of their year. There are little signups going around in the notebook, so just bear it in mind. And also, we're having our Rotary Rotaract Club coming to run the meeting on the 19th, I believe, of this month. So it should be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Howie, are you here? Okay, Janice. Exactly. We got something cool coming up next week. And it's a fundraiser for the foundation.
Thank you. I'll stand over here so I don't have my back.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Very exciting. We've been working on this, Howie, Carrie, Rosalie, and myself for quite a while. We're doing a tour at Virgin Hotels, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock on Thursday, May 12th. Our host is Richard Bosworth. He is the CEO of JC Hospitality, which took over the former Hard Rock Hotel. His time is very precious, so we ask if you sign up to please be there at 4. He's been in the industry for over 40 years, and just to get his attention and hear his stories in the industry, it's just unbelievable. He also operated or asset managed like over 175 hotel investments and like 400 restaurants, 4 hotels. So he has just a wealth of hospitality background. It is $50 donation to the foundation, which of course is matched by Tom and Leslie Thomas. Afterwards, there's a separate sign up in the book to join us at One Steakhouse. And if you've never been there, I've been there like 2 times to coordinate this with Rosalie and the who's who. I mean, I've met celebrities and stuff. It's like my new hangout. But it's $30 a person, and that gets you 1 cocktail, beer or wine, and also some hors d'oeuvres. And we met with the chef, and everything's homemade, you know, and he's really putting a lot of energy and effort into it, but it's a beautiful steakhouse. If you want any drinks after the first drink, then you will pay on your own, but $30, which is a value of $80, is phenomenal. So hope to see everyone there. And there's ample parking there, free.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm signing up. Okay, we have Tony. We're going to bring the microphone to Tony. She's got a couple things to talk to us about. But you've got something coming up on May 17th, if I'm not mistaken.
I've got 3 things. I have 3 things to talk about. First is we have an opportunity to help out Opera Las Vegas, and I'm looking for 3 to 4 volunteers available on Sunday, May 15th at 1 p.m. Actually, it's noon. What it is it's a children's opera. You don't have to stay for the opera, but it's downtown at the Theater at Notoriety on Fremont Street. We would have to be there at noon, and you could leave at either 1 when the opera starts, or after the opera, which is a 1-hour thing at 2 o'clock. We already have 3 people signed up. I need at least 3 to 4. So before you leave today, come get me. It'll be a great opportunity. It's basically for the young people on the spectrum. And so there'll be a sensory sensitive performance.
So it's only 1 hour of your day from 12 to 1 or 2 hours of your day from 12 to 2. So come see me. That's item 1. Item 2, going around in the Green Book orientation, last one in Mike's year for our new members. It will be at Arlene Sarah's house. We have 6 members of honor who we will be seeing become formally not inducted, but oriented. And it's a great opportunity for the rest of the members to come join. I didn't see one signature in the Green Book yet, so please sign up. The last thing is a really cool thing. There is a QR code that was put, I mentioned this last week, on a card at our Green Art Planet, and it drew you to a 13-minute video that was done many years ago by senior Rotarians. There's Glenn Meyer, Jim Hunt, Ginger Anderson. I'm going to forget people. Somebody else that had more hair too, and I can't remember. But pardon? Deb Granda. It's an amazing video that talks about what all we do here in this club. My Jerry was very excited about seeing it, having come from a different district. And so what he did is he passed it along to, oh, now I can't find it. He passed it along to a former district governor in his district. Suffice it to say, our video about our club has already made its way up through to RI itself. Brad Howard, who is the assistant to the incoming district governor, Jennifer Jones, do I have that right? She, based on what we have heard, has seen it as well. And perhaps this is something that might go viral to show just how wonderful our club is. And it's a real credit to the Rotarians in this club, and I thought you all should know. If you haven't seen the video, you need to see it because it's amazing, especially our newer people, to really understand what we do and what we've done in this club. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go through a bunch of announcements real quick. Beach cleanup on May 21st. It's a beach cleanup and jet ski party. June 4th is the highway cleanup. Saturday morning, typically around 8 o'clock. Beat the heat and over by Red Rock. And you'll hear more announcements coming up. On June 30th, it is where we install our new president. Sometimes people call it a debunking. I'm not calling it that yet. I'm not giving up the throne yet. And then my last plea on behalf of Bob Warner, I appreciate we have been getting better on our donations. Tom Thomas issued us a challenge to raise $100,000. And if we did, he and his wife would match it. We're at $63,000. We have $37,000 left. Please, we've got less than 2 months now to complete that challenge. So let's, if you can, be generous, find other people in the community that would be willing to be generous to give to our foundation. I mean, we give to local kids related to their education, related to clothing, related to food. We do so many wonderful things with our foundation dollars. So please be generous and make a donation there. And Mike Kudiamat, come on up. He has an announcement. We're going to induct, or not induct, but we're going to recognize another member of our club for achieving a milestone in their Paul Harris Fellowship donation as he's finishing his vegetables. And
so Rotary International responded to the Ukrainian crisis, sending out humanitarian aid to the regions where they're helping the refugees. So far, as at the moment, there's $15 million that's been raised all over the world. Now, thanks to people like Stu Lipoff here, who's going to receive his
come on up, Stu.
Paul Harris Fellow +3. So thank you very much to donors like Stu.
Yeah. Great. Okay, with that, continue enjoying your meal, and we're going to have some time for fellowship before I do the raffle. And we start the second half of our program. Thanks. Nine? Yeah. Okay. Okay, hey, Tony, where are you? Tony Craig. Paging Tony Craig. Okay, can you bring the microphone to Rich? Past President Richard Jost. Oh, you thought you were done? Okay. So Richard Jost has a quick announcement.
Thank you, President Mike. And although you're in denial about the debunking, in fact, the club is not. And we've discovered now that because of some of the entertainment we have planned for your debunking party, we need to apply for a permit from the Department of Homeland Security. So we want to get moving pretty quickly here. We'll have the first meeting of the debunking party committee immediately following this meeting out at the bar. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, all of you that have participated in doing our family search, our speaker opened up his, he happened to have it. So let's see who's the most closely related relative to our speaker. And while you're looking up that, our raffle today is over $3,700, probably over $3,800 with today's money. Half that money goes to the foundation, the other half will go to you. If your number is called out, and the number is 8475942. 8475942. Larry. Okay, now Larry gets the right.
You want to
to
announce
draw
how
for
you're
the
donating all
Joker.
that money?
I'll talk to you.
Okay, Larry has the right to draw for the Joker. If he gets the Joker, he wins the pot. If he gets an ace, he gets $50. And if he gets anything else, he gets a $10 consolation prize. Ace, he gets $50. Yay! Okay. Move over here out of the light. No, this way. Actually, you hold the card. Take one more with him. Great. So here's $10. Tear it up. Better odds next week. You're getting $40 more.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, now for $50 in Larry's gift cards, we have last four digits, 6047. 6047. Hey! How many people are you related to here? So Jay Bybee, our speaker, is related to 7. Who's the highest one?
While simply having a soft drink and talking with other customers.
So Jim Powell is going to introduce you to the rest of his family. Introduce our speaker.
He is the man with white shorts, a black hoodie and hat, who's seen walking toward the front door. It's then another man wearing all black with his hands in his pockets. Right past him. Steve walks out.
Background and a senior circuit judge Bybee here in the rear. I recommend you read it. I wanted to share some interesting tidbits about his career. Senior circuit judge Bybee was nominated to the United States Court of the Ninth Circuit, which happens to be the largest by President George W. Bush.
This flyer offering a $5,000 reward would help someone will
74 to 19, when he was voted by the Senate, Democratic Senator Charles Schumer noted that he supported Circuit Judge Bybee's confirmation. Come out of his mouth today. Circuit Judge Bybee, Senior Circuit Judge Bybee received his commission on March 21st, and on March 28th, 2003, Justice O'Connor authored first opinions of the Ninth Circuit. The doors considered in Los Angeles County, both countries. They had the child California child abuse sexual contacts violated. Removed versus ruling of the court held Arizona Dennis violation of free speech, select person against people that are offered an article that personalizes sheriff and is
Hi there. Well, it is dry out there. No showers or storms expected to crop up over this particular area to help squelch the fires. The other thing we're looking at is the wind. Some of you reporting that seeing or even smelling the smoke, noticing the haze in your neighborhood. We're zooming in on the Doppler radar right now, and what looks like rainfall is actually the radar picking up on some of that smoke being blown or drifting from the north down toward the south. Notice some of it coming in right around the wested area. Now, at the surface, the winds have not been all that strong right now from the southeast and reporting calm winds in Plantation and Weston. But a little higher up in the atmosphere, about 8,000 to 9,000 feet, winds northerly component. So that is what's helping to push that smoke down toward the south. Now, tomorrow, it looks like the surface winds are going to get a little stronger, and they should start to blow in from the south-southwest. And
I'm very happy to be here with you. When I go places and speak to people who may not all be lawyers, and even when I do go to talk to people who are either lawyers or going to be lawyers, there are a lot of misconceptions about what the Ninth Circuit does. So I'm here today to give you an introduction to the Ninth Circuit. And I hope to leave some time for you to ask any questions that you want to ask of me. So let's start with some basics. Let's start with the question of who we are. And here's a recent photograph of the judges of the Ninth Circuit in our robes. This is taken in our courtroom in Pasadena. Here we are, same shot without the ropes. You can see that we clean up nicely. It's a good looking group. Now, you may have come with your own perceptions about who the Ninth Circuit is or what we are. In his introduction, Jim pointed out that Senator Schumer referred to the Ninth Circuit as the most liberal court in the United States. I may have more to say about that in a few minutes. But the interesting thing is there are a lot of perceptions and perhaps a lot of misperceptions about the Ninth Circuit. But I have brought today for you, by way of introduction, a gallery, so to speak, of perceptions of the Ninth Circuit, a photographic gallery. So let me give you an example. When I was appointed in 2003, I was setting up my chambers. I've been in the position for about 6 months when I was called by our chief judge, Mary Schroeder from Phoenix. And Mary called and she said, Jay, I'm just calling to find out how you're doing. And I said, Mary, the court has been so welcoming. It has been so collegial, and I'm very happy to be here. And Mary said, well, that's what it's like when you join our court. It's like having 26 spouses. And I said, Mary, I went to Brigham Young. I come from a religious tradition that knows how to deal with these things. And that was Mary's perception of the Ninth Circuit. We're big love. So when you look at a photo like this, there are a lot of people who look at that photo and say, well, this court is just too big. That's got to be split. It's just out of control. That's not the way that we perceive ourselves. So here is the official Ninth Circuit photograph as envisioned by our court. We're not a big court, we're a much smaller court, specifically a court of 9. And that's the way that we perceive ourselves. The Supreme Court, of course, does not perceive us like this at all. So here's the official photograph of the Ninth Circuit as perceived by the Supreme Court. There we are. Chief Judge is always in front, gets a nice seat. And this is why the court sometimes refers to us as the Ninth Circuit Yurt of Appeals. The district judges, whose papers we grade, have a different perception of us. So here's the Ninth Circuit as seen by our district judges. Here we are in our robes. So there we are. That is the Honorable Sister Mary Catherine presiding in front. Our law clerks have yet a different perception of us. So here's a photo of the Ninth Circuit in our robes as seen by our law clerks. There we are, dispensing justice to all of the little people. The other circuits have yet a different perception of us. So here's the official photo of the Ninth Circuit as seen by the other courts of appeals. Yeah, there we are. Chief Judge always gets a good seat up front. It's okay because here's the way that we perceive the other courts of appeals. They're just a bunch of Boy Scouts waving the flag, marching in a straight line, and doing whatever the Supreme Court tells them to do. So it's okay. That's the way that we perceive them. Well, that's who we are. Now, where are we? So we have 4 courthouses that are dedicated only to the United States Court of Appeals. These courthouses are not shared with district courts, bankruptcy courts, the magistrates, or any other federal judicial services. That's a little unusual to have dedicated courts of appeals, but it is what we have. So this is our headquarters in San Francisco. This is the James R. Browning U.S. Courthouse. It's at 7th and Mission, just barely off of Market Street. Now, if you're familiar with San Francisco, that is the Tenderloin. And that is not a good area of San Francisco. This is a beautiful, beautiful building. And we're only 3 blocks from UN Plaza and a little bit farther from Union Square. But that's where we are. Now, this building was built in 1906. It was constructed just months before the great earthquake in San Francisco, and it managed to survive. It almost didn't survive the Loma Prieta earthquake. That's the earthquake of 1989, the famous World Series earthquake. And the building had to be closed for a number of years while the entire building was jacked up and then put on rollers to make it earthquake resistant. This building is known as the Marble Palace. It is well named. That is the first floor of our courthouse. That is all marble. That is all mosaic tile in those arches. Here's another view of the first floor of our courthouse. And this is courtroom 1. This is our principal courtroom in San Francisco. That is all inlaid marble behind the bench. And we have here, you can see that these are caradids. These are Greek statues. There's carved fruit. It's just a beautiful, beautiful building. We don't build courthouses like this anymore in the United States. This is the next picture. This is the photo of the Richard Chambers courthouse in Pasadena. This was an Art Deco era hotel. And it was abandoned as a hotel and used as a hospital during World War II. The United States took it over, and when the United States decided that it was going to sell it as surplus property, our court went to GSA and said, "Don't do that. Let's turn it into a courthouse." This is not in a commercial area. This is in a residential area of Pasadena. I have one more shot of the courthouse. This is taken from, some of you may know, the Colorado Street Bridge. So we are just off of Orange Grove, where which is the principal route of the Rose Bowl parade, the Rose Parade. Beautiful, beautiful, very distinguished looking courthouse. We have a courthouse in a much smaller courthouse. This is Pioneer Courthouse that faces famous Pioneer Square in Portland. It's a beautiful example of pioneer construction. This was built in the late 1800s, and the wood inside, you can see the courtroom here, beautiful example of late 1800s construction. Our fourth courthouse is the William Nakamura Courthouse in Seattle. This is another example of Art Deco construction. And I have one photo here of one of the courtrooms in Seattle. So that's who we are and where we are. This is what we do. So let's begin with some basics as to what the role of the federal courts is and what is and isn't our responsibility. Under Article 3 of the Constitution, Section 1, the judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one Supreme Court and such inferior courts as Congress may from time to time ordain and establish. So the Constitution itself creates the Supreme Court and dictates that there will only be one. And then the rest is left to Congress, as Congress in its judgment may from time to time ordain and establish. We chafe a little bit at being called inferior courts, but I think we're okay with that. Federal courts are courts of limited jurisdiction. Now, if you've got any lawyers in the room, this is first semester of law school. We are courts of limited jurisdiction, and there are a number of heads of jurisdiction. I'm only going to list the two principal ones that give us jurisdiction over cases, something that makes it a federal case. The two principal ones are cases arising under the Constitution, laws, and treaties of the United States. And the second, if there are controversies between citizens of different states. The first one is known as federal question jurisdiction. The second one is known as diversity jurisdiction. That is, when two people are from different states, they are diverse. That means that we do not have jurisdiction over matters arising under Nevada law unless it involves a dispute under Nevada law between two people from different states, a citizen of Arizona and a citizen of the United States, of Nevada, for example. So we have to be very careful about what comes in to federal court. Not everything gets into federal court. The federal courts of appeals, the federal courts, those inferior courts, were first created. So in 1789, that is shortly after the Constitution was ratified, the Judiciary Act of 1789 created federal district courts, that is the trial level courts, and provided for circuit courts. But the circuit courts were comprised of two district court judges and one justice from the United States Supreme Court. For the justices, this was known as riding the circuit, and it was a very, very onerous responsibility, especially in the 1700s. They traveled by stagecoach, they stayed in uncomfortable circumstances to go and decide those appeals. The district judges were scattered throughout the United States, but the justices of the Supreme Court were traveling to whichever circuit they were assigned to. This was not a pleasant responsibility. It was very, very difficult. And as the United States became larger and larger, and you would have a justice having to travel great distances, for example, to hear appeals in, let's say, California or Nevada, this became a very, very difficult task. So in 1891, in what's known as the Everts Act, the regional courts of appeals were created. Today, we have 11 numbered courts of appeals and 2 that are named. So we have the two that are named are the DC Circuit, which covers just the District of Columbia, and the Federal Circuit, which has special jurisdiction largely relating to intellectual property and certain kinds of claims against the United States. The regional courts of appeals cover various states. The First Circuit covers the Northeast. It's headquartered in Boston. The Second Circuit, headquartered in New York. The Third Circuit is headquartered in Philadelphia. The Fourth in Richmond. The Fifth in New Orleans. The Sixth in Cincinnati. The Seventh in Chicago. The Eighth in St. Louis. The Ninth, that's us, headquartered in San Francisco. And the 10th is headquartered in Denver. The 11th, which was the last one, was created from a division of the old Fifth Circuit. The Fifth Circuit was divided. We created the 11th Circuit in 1981. It is headquartered in Atlanta. I'm going to have just a little bit more to say about this. We'll come back to this slide in a minute. But I do need to say something about that separation between what we do in the federal courts and what the courts of Nevada do. We need to have, in the federal courts, and I think that there's a general perception that somehow the federal courts is where the action is, and we've really missed the boat. We've really misunderstood our system if we think that. So there are two systems. It is known as dual sovereignty. We have laws that belong to Nevada, including a Nevada Constitution. We have laws that pertain to the United States, including a US Constitution and statutes. That means that we have dual legislatures. We have the Nevada Assembly, we have the Congress, we have dual executives, a governor of Nevada, a president of the United States, and we have a dual judicial system. So in the Nevada system, the highest court in Nevada is, of course, the Nevada Supreme Court. We have a new Nevada Court of Appeals as of a couple of years ago. It's a fairly small court at this point. And then the Nevada District Courts. That would be the 8th JDC, which is down in the Regional Justice Center in downtown Las Vegas. Underneath the Nevada District Courts are certain kinds of courts of limited jurisdiction, including family and municipal courts. That would be our justices of the peace, our family court judges, and so on. They have limited jurisdiction. These are the general jurisdiction trial courts, to the Court of Appeals, to the Nevada Supreme Court. The Nevada Supreme Court is final as to all matters of Nevada law. The United States Supreme Court does not get to overrule the Nevada Supreme Court on matters of Nevada law. The US Supreme Court can overrule a decision of the Nevada Supreme Court to the extent that it implicates either federal statutes, international treaties of which the United States is a member, or the United States Constitution. But the United States Supreme Court does not get to contradict the Nevada Supreme Court as to matters of Nevada law. The parallel system in the federal court is that we begin, of course, with the US Supreme Court, then the United States Court of Appeals, including my court, the Ninth Circuit, to the US District Courts, and then we have US courts of limited jurisdiction. That would include our magistrates and our bankruptcy courts. So the appeals go up in this direction, appeals from our court go to the US Supreme Court, just as appeals from the Nevada Supreme Court can go as to the US Supreme Court. From time to time, courts in the federal system are called upon to make judgments about Nevada law. And in that case, what we're trying to do is trying to predict how the Nevada courts will address the question. And we're trying to be very careful if the Nevada courts haven't said anything about the particular matter. We try to be very, very careful in the way that we interpret it. We don't want to step on their toes. And we can be contradicted. That is, the Nevada Supreme Court is not bound by our judgment about what Nevada law means. Now, similarly, the Nevada Supreme Court, the justices and judges of Nevada, also take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And that means that they are perfectly well suited, as competent as we are, to make judgments about the United States Constitution. If we have a Fourth Amendment question, just because it comes from the US Constitution, doesn't mean it has to come over into the federal system. The Nevada courts are perfectly competent to render those judgments on the Fourth Amendment. Questions about the Fourth Amendment, the First Amendment, what the Commerce Clause means or anything like that, of course, are all subject to a final judgment by the US Supreme Court. Well, that's the problem of dual sovereignty. We just need to be very careful to keep our lines straight. Remember what role we are acting in. The Ninth Circuit is a very, very large court. We dwarf all others. We include 9 states and 2 territories. Our jurisdiction encompasses Arizona, Nevada, California, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Montana, Alaska, Hawaii, and 2 territories in the Western Pacific, Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. Our circuit includes more than 20% of the US by population and more than 20% by geographic size. So we are a very, very large circuit. We have 29 authorized judgeships, which makes us the largest, far and away, the largest court of appeals in the country. We are nearly twice as large as the next largest circuit, which is the 5th Circuit, which includes Texas. And our docket is larger than the 1st Circuit, the 2nd Circuit, and the 3rd Circuit. Those are headquartered in Boston, New York, and Philadelphia, and covers the whole Northeast, all the way to the Pennsylvania-Maryland line. Our docket is larger than those 3 circuits combined. So let me give you some statistics and show you what that looks like. I've got 2 lines of comparison here on the next slide. So this is a comparison of 3 circuits. This is the DC Circuit, sometimes referred to as the 2nd most important court of the land. This is where Chief Justice John Roberts served before being appointed to the court. This is where Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who's going to be joining the Supreme Court, came from as the DC Circuit. The 10th Circuit is our closest circuit. That's our neighbor. That's headquartered in Denver. So the number of authorized judgeships on the DC Circuit is 11. The 10th Circuit is 12. We are 29. Here's the number of appeals filed by each year. About 1,100 per year in the DC Circuit. 1,700 in 2020. We had more than 10,000 cases. Now you can see that number is almost 10 times the size of the DC Circuit. We are not 10 times the number of judges of the DC Circuit. Now we have a disproportionate number of immigration cases. So I brought you the immigration statistics. The number is not available from DC, but it's minuscule. There's just not a lot of immigrants getting into DC. It's not a boundary that gets crossed, unlike New York, Texas, or California and Arizona. The 10th Circuit has about 165 appeals a year. We're at 3,400. This is down from a peak of 5,000 per year cases in about 2005. So it gives you some sense of how large our circuit is. It is daunting to be able to keep up with it. All right, that concludes my presentation here. Let me run back up and park on this one so that you can just see that map. And I've got just a couple of minutes, and I'm happy to take questions. I'll take the question here and then one over here.
Thank you, Judge Bobby, for coming here. That's really interesting. I know when you hear about the news, you'll hear about some panel of less than 29 of the judges will sit on particular cases. And what kind of they'll also say things like that particular panel pick for that one is leaning conservative or leaning liberal or that sort of thing.
Yeah,
so
good.
How do they pick the size of panels relative to different cases?
Okay, so we have 29 authorized seats. In addition to that, we have a number of senior judges. So all in all, there are 51 Ninth Circuit judges. Just 29 of them are in the active seats. I'm a senior judge, which means I came out of my seat. I was replaced by Lawrence Van Dyke, the former Solicitor General of Nevada, who sits in Reno. I can reduce my caseload. I have reduced it only slightly, but I still sit on a number of cases. When a panel of the Ninth Circuit sits, it sits in panels of 3. Those panels are selected. I rotate from city to city to city. I don't sit in the same city all the time. I don't sit with the same panels. It's very important to us that we are rotating through so that in any given period, let's say 5 or 7 years, I will have sat with every judge on the Ninth Circuit on a panel. And our judges have been appointed by Democrats and Republicans. When I first came on the court, I had the privilege of sitting with James Browning. Jim Browning was appointed by John F. Kennedy. I had my tonsils out in the 4th grade when Jim Browning was appointed to our court. We have judges on our court who clerked for judges who are on our court. So there's a big variety. Judge Cliff Wallace from San Diego is the oldest judge on our court still sitting. Cliff is 93. He was appointed by Gerald Ford and to the district court by Richard M. Nixon. He is still sitting at 93. Now, the only way, the rule is very important, that if a panel of 3 judges says the law means X, that another panel can't come in a year later and look at the same question and say, you know something, we think they got it wrong. It's very important to us that we not have one panel overruling another panel. It'd be utter chaos. So the way of resolving that is what's known as an en banc, Latin term meaning the full court sits. Our court is so large, Congress has authorized us to do something less than 29 judges. So we have what's called a limited en banc. We will draw randomly 11 names. And then that court can decide, can overrule a prior panel. But it's very important to us that we keep, that if we're overruling a prior decision of the Ninth Circuit, that be done in an orderly way. Yes, that question over here.
Thank you for being here. Since the Fifth Circuit was split to form 11, and 9 is so big, why is not 9 split up?
Excellent question. There have been a number of proposals to divide the Ninth Circuit over the years. The impetus came largely from judges and political figures, senators up in the Northwest, very concerned that what they perceived as liberal judges from California were deciding forestry questions and Native American lands questions for the Northwest. So they wanted to be split off. There's no good way of splitting the Ninth Circuit, and the problem is right there. That is the Central District of California. It's Los Angeles. The Central District of California contributes 1/3 of our docket. That means that that Los Angeles, all by itself, if we were to make that a circuit, would be larger than most of these other circuits in terms of the docket. So there's no way of doing it without dividing California. And there's just no good way of dividing California between 2 circuits. So the proposals in the past, one of them involved dividing it here. So we would have a Northwest circuit and a Southwest circuit. I think that makes some sense. Senator Ensign several years ago actually proposed trifurcating the Ninth Circuit. He would have put California and Hawaii and the 2 territories together. He would have put Oregon, Washington, and Alaska together. And then the other circuit would have been Arizona, Nevada, Idaho, and Montana, the 4 landlocked states of the Ninth Circuit. It hasn't gone anywhere. It doesn't really solve a lot, and it adds. We're actually a very well-run circuit. We're large, but it's a very well-run circuit. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation. I'm just curious too, it's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the number of Supreme Court justices used to be tied to the number of circuits. I'm curious if there's like any, I guess in terms of legal and practical case to be made for expanding the Supreme Court, which I know has been talked about a lot lately.
Yeah, no, each of the justices is assigned to a, there we go. Each of the justices is assigned to serve as a circuit justice. So our circuit justice right now is Elena Kagan. When I came on the court, it was Justice O'Connor and then Anthony Kennedy. But Justice Kagan hears certain kinds of appeals that come on an emergency basis, will go to her, and then she will refer them to the full court. And since there are more than 9 circuits, some justices got to pick up more than one. So it's not tied 1-to-1 any longer. On the question of expanding the Supreme Court, Constitution doesn't say anything about that. That can be expanded by Congress. I don't think it changes anything. It only changes the ability of the president to appoint the new number of justices at the outset, and after that, it's all up for grabs. I just don't think that getting more than 9 helps us.
One last question.
So there's a,
go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Again, thank you for your presentation today. Apparently there's a new decision that's getting ready to come out of the Supreme Court. Would you care to share any insights on that decision?
What I will say is that this is a catastrophic release for the court. Our court depends on us being able to trust each other. The Ninth Circuit is a remarkably collegial place. I have colleagues who disagree fundamentally with me about what the role of the Constitution is, what judges are supposed to do, what the nature of law is. I love them and admire them dearly. We are very close friends. Our spouses go to dinner. We've been in each other's homes. They know our kids and grandkids. That's very important that we be able to have that kind of trust. So yes, I will disagree vigorously sometimes with my colleagues, but that doesn't mean that we don't walk off arm in arm at the end of the day. When an opinion is released like this, if it's been released by a justice, that's a horrible breach of protocol. If it's been released by one of the clerks to a justice, it's a horrible breach of protocol and may change the way that the Supreme Court conducts business, and it won't be for the better.
So Jay, I don't know if you figured it out, but we sponsor a number of elementary schools and help youth in our valley. And so we give our speakers the Soul Power Award, where we give shoes in your name to students in needy schools here in Southern Nevada. So thank you very much.
Proving the judges indeed do have a soul.
Yeah. Great. Hey, Jay, we're going to take a picture. Great. Thank you very much. I had the privilege of getting to know Jay when his wife worked for me years ago. And she is a kind and brilliant person as he is. And so I'm grateful to have someone of his stature come to our club, and thank you very much for that. Okay, remember we have the debunking committee meeting right after. We have, and I can't go, I'm not allowed to go. Thank you very much. But we have the social tonight as well. So everybody, thank you for coming. Have a great Cinco de Mayo. Be safe.